where they're going to bring up again the gerrymandering done by Lizzie Felter. They're going to do a two, I think only two public uh open meetings about it, and December 2nd is the next one. That's on their next city council meetings that they'll be talking about the gerrymandering. And they're trying to they're coming to a decision whether or not they should reinstate the old maps which were done in 2022 and not the ones that are current. Um, which I'm hoping that they vote against leaving these maps like they are, because that was a miscarriage of justice. It was illegal and it should have never been done. So that's December 2nd, which is the next city council meeting. Um, if anybody, I wanted to kind of give you guys some news. You know, last night we talked about Mr. Fuller, and we showed you guys some videos. We might show some more. I'm not for sure. I think I should have had a conversation with co-host, but we do have some more videos on Mr. Fuller. Look, also, you guys, he's having a memorial. They're having a memorial for him at the New Birth Fellowship Baptist Church. I think that's what it is, Missionary Baptist Church. And I think it's on Enterprise. I'm going to double check, but I think it's at 2:00, and that's this Saturday. So I'm going to attempt to go if I can. I want to make sure the information is correct. So I will be checking on that. And that you can find the information, actually was on KLB. So you might can find the information over there, and hopefully KLB has the right information, but that was what was told. That is at 2:00 Saturday, and it's going to be a memorial for him. So definitely, guys, if you can go, be available to go, because he's going to be well missed. It's gonna, yeah, he's gonna be well missed. Hello there, ma'am. Hello, Miss Dixon. So next we're gonna go ahead and get into the city council. My co-host, do you have anything you want to say before we go ahead and get into it? I know you watched it earlier. Do you have anything?
Yeah, y'all are gonna be. So there was some things that was said that we've said, that the mayor said that he had never spoken on before, but you'll see. Very, right. Very interesting. We're going to definitely stop on that part and pick it apart.
Okay, just tell me when. Okay. All right.
You'll know.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Oops. It would be nice if I stream it, right?
Yeah.
I was about to play it without streaming it. Hold up.
A rebroadcast may be viewed on Optum Cable Channel 4.
Keep going. Skip past this.
The Alexandria website.
What?
Skip past all this.
Okay.
Have the invocation.
Yep, that too. There's only a couple seconds.
2026. Number 4,
right.
Introduction to the ordinance authorizing the mayor to promote the city of Alexandria by entering into all contracts with bands and vendors for 2026 events and other matters with respect thereto. Number 5, introduction of an ordinance relative to the Alexandria Healthcare Initiative, LSUA, to authorize the mayor to execute on behalf of the city those necessary or desirable intergovernmental cooperative endeavor and joint services agreement and other contract related to the Jackson Street Allied Health Downtown Health Services Central Capital Improvements, more particularly described as local or other non-state capital project matches, to authorize the project. LSUA Downtown Health number 19-602-2301. If 19-002-498. Authorizing the expenditure and encumbrance of budget and prioritized fund. Authorizing agreements, commitments, and drawdowns with the state of Louisiana through the Division of Administration and or through the Board of Supervisors of Louisiana State University and Agriculture and Mechanical College, LSU, and other or through and with LSU, Alexandria's foundation, and other related parties and contracts, and otherwise providing with respect thereto. Number 6, introduction of an ordinance authorizing an annexation of 6.896 plus minus acres tract of land located at 2711 North MacArthur Drive and part of lots 54 and 55 of Experiment Plantation, situated in sections 18 and 19 of Township 4 North, Range 1 West, Rapides Parish, Louisiana, AC1 Limited Commercial District, MFO Multifamily Overlay District. Zoning classification is requested upon annexation for the development of a nursing home.
I need a motion, please.
Move.
A second.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Fowler, second by Councilman Johnson. Any items to committee?
It's 4 and 5 illegal.
Can we do 6 to committee?
And what's 6 in?
Uh-huh.
What committee is 6 in?
They put them in.
Okay,
They put them in.
okay, all right.
G, resolution. Number 7, resolution to co-sponsor Zeta Phi Zeta Founder Community Foundation Scholarship Workshop at the Bolton Avenue Community Center.
I need a motion, please.
Move.
Motion by Councilman Fowler, second by Councilman Lawberdane. Public comments, discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
H, ordinances for final adoption subject to public hearing. Number 8, to consider final adoption of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept the low bid submitted for treated wood poles.
I need a motion, please.
Move.
A second.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Ballard, second by Councilman Johnson. Public comments. Mr. White,
Thank you, Madam President.
You-
Appreciate it.
you're welcome.
My name is Mr. Cornelius Lawson White Jr. I live at 3638 10th Street in Alexandria, Louisiana, 71302. And my phone number is area code 318-446-6934. I know Jules Green had brought it up about this treated wood because in our area, they had the creosote plant. So I don't know if y'all looked into this and see if we could put anything other than this treated wood, maybe steel poles or.
I looked
And
into it, Mr.
You did
White.
look into it?
Yes,
or-
I did. I spoke about it at a previous meeting. I went to Pineville. I talked to a supervisor over there
Uh-huh.
who actually worked with those poles and those chemicals.
Oh, okay.
The people that I spoke with have been there like 30 and 40 plus years. They say they don't have anything, no
No environmental,
environmental,
okay.
yes, so
Well, see, that's good. See, that's really good.
Thank
See,
you,
the
Mr.
people can appreciate that. And let's pray for Joe Fuller's family because he was a city councilman.
yes, he was. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried.
Number 9, to consider final adoption of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept the low bid submitted for a minimum of 1 rear load and refuse truck, 25 cubic yard capacity.
A motion, please.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Fowler, second by Councilman Johnson. Public comments, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried.
Number 10, to consider final adoption of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept the low bid submitted for a minimum of 1 gravel truck for the sanitation department.
Motion, please.
Move.
I need a second. Motion by Councilman Ballard, second by Councilman Fowler. Public comments,
I have a
discussion.
question. Mayor, overall, how is our sanitation equipment looking? Overall,
Stop it.
I don't know. You give me maybe a next meeting to answer it. This is a
Okay. Now, as plain as that question was, what does that question mean to you?
What do you mean?
What he said, back it up a little bit and play it.
Okay, hold up.
There you go. Right about there.
Ward, second by Councilman Fowler. Public comments,
I have a
discussion.
question. Mayor, overall, how is our sanitation equipment looking?
Stop it.
Okay,
Now-
so how, go ahead.
What did he say?
He basically just asked a simple question, how does it look? And he
No.
basically, go ahead.
What he said? How does the sanitation equipment look overall?
Overall, yeah. Okay.
What
I
does
would,
that mean?
to me, it means that he wants to make sure that we all they have good sanitation equipment and there's nothing that needs to be fixed. Everything is up to par.
Now
That's
play
what
it. Now play it.
Gotcha. Hold up. Give me a second.
Overall,
I don't know. You give me maybe a next meeting to answer it. This is a
Yeah.
bid.
okay. I'm just curious, just like to know, just overall, kind of give us an assessment
Okay.
of how our equipment looks so that the people can.
When you say looks, you mean
Status of it, the status of it, workmanship.
if we're short or?
Yeah, for short, what do we need?
We're worried to have some garbage trucks. I don't know if we get.
Just want to kind of idea where we are with that.
Okay, stop it.
Okay.
You said you would get that.
Okay.
Now you're asking the mayor about the sanitation department that he's the head of,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yep.
he doesn't know how to answer a question about how the equipment looks overall.
So and this is crazy because he said, well, this is just a bid. Do you understand why we say what we say about how the council don't have all the information a lot of times when they throw these things, when they create these ordinances? Because you got to remember, each proposal has to have an author to it. Doesn't matter what it is. They have to have an author in order for it to become an ordinance, for them to even talk about it. It's a bid. There's a reason why he asked that question.
My thing is, how can you ask for something and don't know the status of what you
Oh,
have?
There you go.
So are you just asking for stuff, or do you really need it?
Well, yeah, exactly. So because you got to remember, proposals, when they put those bids out, something needs to be done, right? A repair needs to be done. A new equipment needs to be bought. Something has to be done. So what is the action that's being taken? And his question is valid. There's nothing wrong with him asking that. It's just the idea that he don't know. Because again, y'all, you got to remember, Jock pretends like he doesn't know what's going on all his departments. Jock is a micromanager. Let me say this to you guys. We went over his personality a long time ago. He is a micromanager. There's nothing that goes on in the city of Alexandria that this man does not know what's going on. I'm telling you that. There's nothing that goes on in the city of Alexandria that he is not aware of. Nothing. Because he has his little flunkies that run back and tell him everything, right? So there's nothing that goes on in the city of Alexandria that he doesn't know.
Shouldn't that have been a part of the proposal? What we
Yeah.
do on one hand, or what we do,
Yeah, it should be a listing of everything. Yeah, I think it should be. You're asking for them to accept the bid.
So why are we even bidding for this?
Exactly.
That should have been a part of, but that just goes to the larger thing that I'm speaking to. Yeah, she's all over the place, but yeah, and he wants their thoughts too. Yeah, so that goes with the whole thing about them pushing through stuff and not having the proper, I want to say, vetting process, but they don't get the required paperwork that goes with it. But go ahead, hit the space bar instead of clicking it.
Hold up.
You got to click on the window and then click on the space bar.
An information form?
Yeah, yes.
An inventory or?
I'll reach out and see exactly what he wants, and then we'll do a report. on
All
that.
right,
Thank you.
thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Number 11, to consider final adoption of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept the low bid submitted for a minimum of one shuttle truck for the sanitation department.
Motion, please.
Move.
Second, please.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Lloyd, second by Councilman Johnson.
Now, they backed up and asked for a truck, right? You on mute.
Okay, I'm sorry.
And
Go
so
ahead.
they turned around and asked for a truck, right?
Yeah.
So that should have told you, hey, we need to put in what we do have on hand. And
Yeah.
why we need it.
Yeah. Yeah. That should be part of the bid. I mean, the proposal for them to explain to the city council, because there was no need for him to ask that question if they don't know.
Right. So the mayor doesn't know what they have, but they're steady asking for more stuff.
No, exactly. No, the mayor does.
Well, okay. Well, either way it goes is just as like this whole Epstein thing. He either knows and don't want to say, or he doesn't know and it's a shame that he don't know.
Hmm. I just don't believe he don't know. I just don't believe that.
I can't believe it either. But go ahead.
I believe that he definitely knows everything that goes on in that city. What goes on down at that city barn, I think he knows everything because there is a snitch in every department.
Yeah.
Let me say this again. In a facility like that, there's a snitch in every department.
The question is, how did that make it onto the agenda without having all the paperwork? Well, I know it's on the consent calendar, but how did it get on his desk without the paperwork?
Yeah, because that's not just coming straight to the city council, y'all. Okay, all of this is not going straight to the city council.
None of it's going through the city council.
No, because Trey Giss, if I'm not mistaken, Trey Giss is the one who writes up everything. Him and Jock Roy.
Yeah, him and Jock Roy. So yeah, and the fact that he doesn't have that information on hand shows you that's a pattern, and it's small, it's minute.
Yeah,
it's a pattern of. Well, keep going.
Any discussions? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried.
Number 12, to consider final adoption of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept the low bid submitted for Masonic Court Sports.
A motion, please.
Move.
Second, please.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Lloyd, second by Councilwoman Felter.
Oh,
Public
wait.
discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Okay, so this is another thing I noticed today. So anytime she asks for a move, right, or a motion, right, Ballard typically is the one on certain ones that he says move, but the person that backs him up majority of this meeting is Gary Johnson with the second.
Yeah.
You'll see. Keep going.
Motion carried.
Number 13, to consider final adoption of an ordinance authorizing the city attorney to settle and compromise the disputes in the matter at the 9th Judicial District Court entitled Terry Holmes versus City of Alexandria, docket number 273418, and other matters related thereto.
Motion, please.
Move.
Second, please.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Lloyd, second by Councilman Johnson. Public comments, discussion. You want to discuss this, Mr.?
Yes, ma'am, if you don't mind.
I don't mind.
Okay. The only thing, and my name is Mr. Cornelius Lawson White Jr. I live at 3638 10th Street in Alexandria, Louisiana, zip 71302.
I get it.
When do we get to see how much goes out? Or do we ever get to see how much goes out?
It's in the ordinance.
It's in the ordinance?
It's titled the ordinance. It's $307,647.21.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's fine. That's all I wanted to know. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, what they're talking about is a payout. The city is settling with somebody to the tune of $300-something thousand.
Yep. $300,000.
I wonder what that person sued the city for.
I know. I'm trying to figure out. That's not our family down in Ruby, Terry.
No, rewind it back and hear the name.
Yeah, I know the name already. You don't. I don't
Uh,
have to do it. I know who it is.
I don't. No, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But it's a $300,000 settlement that's being paid out by the city, and that's what they went into executive session about.
Yeah.
City
Yeah.
council meeting.
Yeah.
But now that we know a little bit more about it, we can look into what took place.
Yeah.
And when we can find out what took place, then we know that the city of the city of Alexandria and all of their look, you got Jonathan Goins, you got Trey Gist up there, hell, you got Jock Boy up there, you got that other little dude up there. And all them people couldn't find a hole in that other person that sued them story enough to not have to settle.
Because most likely, majority of the time, whenever you pay out Tavares, is somebody that they actually were in the wrong doing.
Yeah.
The city did something wrong.
So the city was in the wrong.
Okay, before we go any further, let's talk about the legal fees and stuff. Remember when Mr. Fuller, because Mr. Fuller did this. Remember when Mr. Fuller was trying to get our legal fees down? Because they come to find out that we were paying more for legal fees with all these lawyers stacked into the city of Alexandria, that they were paying out more than Shreveport.
That was Gold Wings. Gold Wings eats all that up.
No. This is all anybody they had contracts with to do legal, any type of.
And we found out majority of the contract money went to Gold Wings.
Yeah. So the thing is, they were spending more money in legal fees than the city of Shreveport. And Shreveport is 3 times our size. And what you find out is those are his buddies. Those attorneys were all his buddies. This is why we say what we say. We're not making this up. We don't have nothing. I don't have nothing against him. We're just pointing out when you have a mayor that does the things that he does and get away with them. Okay? Now, let's go ahead and finish playing.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Number 14, to consider final adoption of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept the proposal received from Utiliserve LLC for water distribution flushing program.
Motion, please.
Move.
Second.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Ballard, second by Councilman Fowler. Public comments. Mr. White,
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Madam President.
you're welcome.
Again, I'm Mr. Cornelius Lawson White Jr. My address is 3638.
This
Never.
this ordinance,
Yes, you
Mr.
did.
White.
You said
Mr.
they
White.
smell.
Mr.
No,
White.
I'm just telling you what the man
Hold on.
said. You can look at the tape. You can
Mr.
find out
White.
what he said.
Mr. White, I'm finna tell you, this water distribution flushing program is for the firemen to go out to flush the,
What?
You got to stop it and back it up so you can hear his question.
Oh.
fire,
Hydrant.
Hi. Be periodic testing and everything.
this
Never.
ordinance,
Yes, you
Mr.
did.
White.
You said
Mr.
they
White.
smell.
Mr.
No, I'm
White.
just telling you.
Wait, you got
318-446-6934. Now on this, now the mayor was talking about we'll probably be seeing brown water in our water and it'll be good to drink. So will they be periodic testing and everything?
This
Never.
ordinance,
Yes, you
Mr.
did.
White.
You s-
Okay, hold up. Did you hear what he said?
I didn't say that.
Y'all remember? Hold up.
Yeah, you remember when he said it? I remember when he said that. I remember when he said it.
Doctor. Okay, so we were trying to figure out. Thank you, Miss Bell. We were trying to figure out who was.
Where she at?
who-
I need her in
See
here.
if she can get in here.
Yeah.
See if we can send her the what's the name. We were trying to figure out what that was about. That's what it was. We were trying to get that information. Because the only Terry Holmes I know.
No,
That
we have to look into it. We have to find it and look it up.
Yeah, we could do that. But did you hear what he said? If y'all remember, we played it on the show where he said
that the water
That,
was fine to drink.
yup.
He
And
said, hell, even I got brown water.
he sure did. He sure did say that. That's not no lie. He's telling the truth. Mr. White telling the truth. He did say that.
Hold on. I got to find Miss Linda
I'm
Bell.
telling y'all, he has a certain hatred. Y'all don't want to admit it, but he has a certain hatred for Mr. White. Y'all,
It's a disdain. It's not a
yeah,
hatred.
you can
Disdain.
call it whatever.
No, because disdain is worse than hatred. He abhors Mr. White.
Yeah, he despises him.
Yeah, he abhors him. He can't stand him.
Okay.
Let's see.
Okay.
You're gonna have to send it to her because oh no, okay. I got it.
You got it?
No, I don't. Nope, I don't.
Okay. I'll send it to her. I got it.
Yeah, because
give me a second. Miss Bell.
Oh, never mind. I got it.
No.
Give me just a second. There it goes. Okay. Miss Bell, you're gonna have to accept the what you call it. The request. Check your inbox, baby.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah, he did.
See you in.
Hold up. I got it. I'll just send it to her. Hold up. I'm gonna stop the.
All right. Well, we got both of them covered. We got both of them covered. Okay. Yeah, they both covered. Same thing. Okay. Miss Bell.
Hold up. I'm gonna stop it for a minute so I can send it real quick, just to make sure she gets it.
Check your inbox, baby. These people is crazy. These people is gaslighting us. I didn't. He threw his hands up and everything. I didn't say that. I didn't. Absolutely didn't say that.
Look. Yeah, you did, sir. You did say that. Yeah. Don't lie to us like that. We know you said it. We remember when you said it.
But you gaslight me. You goddamn gaslight.
Hold up. Where is she at? Let's see. Linda.
There she go. I got her.
You got her? Okay, cool.
Hey, Miss Bell.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, hi.
I didn't hear you.
We might be talking on top of each other, Tavares.
Oh, hey.
I'm sorry. I said, how are you?
I'm doing well. And yourself?
I can't complain right now.
Hey, can you run that last part back real quick? I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Hold that.
Okay. He's zapped out.
1302. Our phone number is area code 318-446-6934. Now on this. Now the mayor was talking about we'll probably be seeing brown water in our water and it'll be good to drink. So will they be periodic testing and everything?
I don't, this ordinance.
Yes, you did. You said
Mr. White.
Mr. White. Just tell you what the man said. You can look at the tape. You can find out what he said.
Mr. White, I'm finna tell you, this water distribution flushing program is for the firemen to go out to flush the fire hydrants, yes, to make sure that it gets all the residue or whatever may be inside the water. And that is why we do that, so that we cannot have brown water.
What was the other thing with the brown water when he? You don't know nothing about
this.
This is totally different from that.
Another person who do not like him is Villard. Villard and Fowler can't stand Mr. White. Villard does have a hatred for him. I promise you he does. He can't stand whenever Mr. White says something. He watches Mr. White and you could see his body language change. He cannot stand Mr.
Trey Gist does the same thing. Trey, when you see Trey Gist lean back in that chair, you get the rocket in that hole, he bad. He pissed.
Yeah. And that's that white. That's that
together.
Yeah. That's that KKK-ness they have in them. I'm sorry, but that's allegedly. Okay, whatever. Okay, all right.
Miss Bell, you said you remember him saying that?
I remember when he said it too.
Yes, I do remember that.
Yeah, he sure said it.
I didn't say that. Shit.
He said because he could drink the brown water too.
He sure did.
And he lives in District 4 because he said where he lived at. Yeah. So be careful what you're saying, Mr. Mayor, because we do know. Matter of fact, we played it on here. One of the city council meetings we played on here. He said it.
I want
So
you guys to listen to what Mr. White asked about. Um, is there another project dealing with the brown water?
okay,
And I think Miss Perry tells him no, but listen to Roy's response.
okay,
Okay.
that's what's coming up.
That's what you're saying?
This doesn't have anything to do with the brown water that we discussed
No,
previously.
but there's
This,
a
no,
flush.
sir.
No, hold up. I'm just asking about,
Mhm.
okay, this is a second flushing that we're having?
Mr. White.
This- We would
That's what
have,
I'm trying to find out.
This is routine. Flushing.
So
the
this
fire
is
hydrant
routine.
Is routine. Not only
Okay,
in
well,
Alexandria,
what's this other flushing?
but
with
all
the rust.
flushings are based on the same thing, Mr. White. When you flush the fire hydrants, you're flushing out the residue. You're flushing out
Yeah,
whatever
rust
may,
and all like
yes,
that.
whatever may be inside, so that you can have water, decent water that is not
Okay.
brown that you're asking about.
Well, I'm just asking,
I
okay, I
understand.
understand what you're saying. This is the routine, because I've seen the fire department come by, because I've got a hydrant on my corner spot. So I
Yes,
see them
sir.
come by. But the other flushing, what about that?
That's the same thing. When you
It's the
flush,
same thing?
yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Madam President,
Yes, sir.
just one question. You did answer the wheres for the fire hydrants. What is the occurrence of those flushings? Mayor, if you ever can answer that.
What do you mean the occurrence?
How
Often.
often
Oh,
is it
often.
flushed?
We're the fire department is constantly in a state of flushing. That's what is part of keeping our fire rating #1, which we've achieved for the first time. We also have several other projects that flush that are separate from the fire department flushing that we've gone over quite a few times this year included, where we have the unidirectional flushing, so you're pushing sediment one way. We have several different programs that overlap. Two of those programs were already approved.
Oh,
I
okay.
think this
I'm
year.
sorry.
And
I'm sorry. It's loud in my ear, so it's hard for me to hear.
Yeah, so listen. Did anybody catch, Miss Linda, did you catch that?
Yes.
Now, what he's saying is that the fire department is always in a state of flushing. Okay? Always. It's a recurring thing that happens often, is what he is all the time. It's constant, is what he said. Now, play it.
Hold up.
And listen to Malcolm's question.
fire hydrant flushing is something that is a constant all the time.
Yes.
And so what happens is sometimes debris is stirred up by flushing.
Right.
And so if you see the fire department flushing in your area while it's necessary, it can stir up sediment by doing it. But that is a necessary thing to keep those fire hydrants and the pressure and everything correct. It also, as Madam President said, actually has it has an effect on also keeping things moving. So while it's not part of the unidirectional and other programs, we do schedule in a way to follow that. So we're trying to maintain a process to push any sediment if we think we've caught somewhere out or identify where it is.
I have a question, Mayor. Now, when we flush those hydrants, are those hydrants connected to mains that also run water to the homes, or is it just a separate system just for the fire hydrants? It's all one system? Okay, all right.
Madam President, may I ask? No. Okay.
You're done.
Fine, Madam President.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
We had time.
All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried.
Number 15, to consider final adoption of an ordinance authorizing the
So, okay, hold up. I got a question. So if it's all one system, then nobody should have brown water.
Exactly.
He said that they have a system set up to where they can push the sediment where they want it to go.
He sure did.
What does that tell you? So if districts 3 got brown water and districts 1 and 2 don't, what does that tell you?
somebody might be pushing some water in some directions that it shouldn't be.
And who's paying for the water?
The citizens are. That's a good observation.
They literally tell you we waste water. We waste water all the time. We waste water on the regular. Yeah, we do it to keep the pressure normal. Yeah, we're always running water.
But if you're always running water, then somebody should have some clean water. That means this is what I'm getting. I'm getting if you're doing that on a constant occurrence and constant basis, then everybody water should look exactly the same. Am I wrong?
No, I think now they're starting to just acknowledge that they pushed it all in one spot. They pushed it all in one spot. It's like, yeah, we got to flush it. I don't
But
know.
do you understand? I mean,
They've been flushing all the settlement out of their districts into our districts.
because he said all one system.
It's all one system. So if they've got a scheduled maintenance set up to where they flush the water, then because I remember him saying something, and Ms. Bell, please correct me if I'm wrong. I remember him saying something about there not being no brown water.
Yeah, he did say something about them not having, I don't know, but you can't say that and then turn around and say I can drink brown water. It don't make no sense.
I can't remember what he said, but it was something to the effect of basically, oh, when he was telling everybody that the water, you needed to check the pipes in your house. It's not on the city.
That was a letter from the EPA that went down to everybody.
Oh, look who we got. Look who we got.
Hey.
Oh, Mr. Porter.
No.
Hold on.
Hey, folks, I had to call in. I was listening on the computer while I was doing some other things. But let me clear up something for you. This talk about flushing, what they're doing, they're just opening up a fire hydrant and just let it flow. So the water's just going into a ditch or in the street or whatever. So what Fowler told Malcolm is not true. And of course, District 5 don't have these problems, right? So Fowler wouldn't even know what we're really talking about. Vallard never really go into districts 1, 2, or 3. So he probably have never witnessed this. But when they're talking about flushing, they are opening up a fire hydrant and just letting that water flow. Now, this is what the situation is. We have wells that provide water for the city of Alexandria. The strata where the water wells tap into, when the water flows through those wells, it also brings sediment and things that's in the strata where the water is located. So that flows into the system. And depending on which wells are going into certain parts, certain sections of the city, those sections of the city, districts 1, 2, and 3, get a lot of sediment. Now, here's what causes a bigger problem. A lot of areas in districts 1, 2, and 3, because District 2 gets brown water, District 3 gets brown water. The problem is a lot of those pipes are very, very old. They're more than 40, 50 years old. And they're not as large, okay? And what happens is that this sediment that comes out of the well and ends up in those pipes, these pipes, some of them are dead ended. So if you have a water main going down a large street and the side streets that connect to that large street, the water line that comes off of the main water line going down the dead end street, those are the places where we have problems with brown water because the sediment that comes from the water wells and flows through the main water system, when it gets into that dead end line, the flow slows down or stops. And so the sediment actually settles out. It deposits, it forms a deposit along the bottom of that water line. So think about this. Let's say you're sleeping or at nighttime when you're not using your water. That water through the line that feeds your street and your house is stagnant. So all of the sediment in that water settles out. And then the next morning, when you open up your water faucets and that water starts flowing again, it brings that sediment into your house. And that's the problem we're having. Now, there's a couple of ways to uh, correct this problem. And one of the ways that the city is using is to come out and open those fire hydrants that's on that street and let that water flow and hope that water, the flow of that water, is moving all of the deposited sediment that's in the bottom of that line that feeds your house. So when they're doing that flushing, that's what they're talking about. It's not flushing into another line that's recirculating that. What it's doing, it's flushing it onto the ground. Now, if y'all could remember a long time ago, I went out to Miss Velma Jacobs' house because uh, they were having brown water problems, but the hydrant was right across the street from her house. Well, they flush that so often because she's on a dead end street, like most of the other ones along there. The problem was all of the flushing they did was eroding the ditch and the sediment that was underneath the street. So they had a major problem. Okay, they were trying to correct one problem and they were causing another equally disastrous problem. So here are the things that the city would need to do to correct the brown water. They would either have to take those uh, wells and put some kind of sediment filtration on there, and that's very expensive to do. It'll take several $1,000,000. Okay. The other thing is you take the lines, those dead end lines, and you make it a continuous loop so that it doesn't just dead end and the water becomes stagnant. And when the water stops flowing, the heavy particles, the sediment drops out. It settles to the bottom. And so that's a problem. So what they would need to do is either go in, put larger lines in there, and make them continuous to where if it comes down one street, it'll make a U and go back and connect into the another line going somewhere else, and it would keep flowing, so it would not stagnate and drop out all of that sediment. The other thing that they would have to do is to put filters on everyone's home where they have these dead end lines. Now, if they did that, that's very expensive also. Okay. Now, the problem with that is they would have to go into each individual home and do some work on the piping system and put filters there to trap out or collect the sediment. those filters would need to be changed on a regular basis, whether it's 3 months or 1 month or 6 months, but they would need to do that on a regular basis. Okay. And if the pressure drops too much, that means the city would need to install a pump to help get the water into the homes. So either way you do it, it's going to be a major capital project. But this nonsense that Fowler just told Malcolm, that's not true. That water does not go into another system. It goes into a ditch or it goes into the street. And if they are always flushing, that means you got some big problems with sediment settling. But now keep this in mind. District 4, Districts 5, they don't have this problem. District 1 got it to a real low frequency, but District 2 and District 3, they have brown water issues. And they're just not telling the truth here. And unfortunately, our our council members don't know enough about the problem to really be able to explore it further and ask more questions. But I had to call in. I was doing some work on a computer, but listening to the show just to make sure um, you guys can go away with the correct information. And so that's what the deal is.
Thank you. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm hanging in there. And by the way, your show the other night, the tribute to Joe Fuller, it was excellent, and I thank you for doing that. That was great.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
yeah.
You're welcome. But look, Mr. Porter, before you go, baby, look. So they're saying that it goes into all one system. They're saying even when they flush it out, it all goes in one direction.
No, that's not true. See, because
Okay.
when they flush, they're opening a fire hydrant, taking the.
Mm-hmm.
You know how in New York, when it got hot, we used to open the fire
Yeah.
hydrants.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Sure did.
that water just going on the streets, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're doing the exact same thing. It's just that instead of cooling off the kids, it's just trying to remove the sediment that has settled in the bottom of those pipes to
Uh-huh.
get them out. And the way they do it, they just open up the fire hydrant and let the water flow, and hopefully it takes the sediment out with it.
Mm-hmm.
And they do that from what Jock Roy said, and I don't even know if he knows what he's talking about, to be honest. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know either. It's just that if if they're always flushing, then that's a big problem.
Mm-hmm.
And then your other question, who pays for it? So the city of Alexandria owns the water wells.
Yes, that's right.
So the water that gets charged is whatever goes through meters.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if they're flowing it through the water hydrants, it's not going through your meter, so you should not get charged for it.
Mm-hmm.
And since we own the water wells and the reservoirs, that just ends up water that's being wasted, that water that we could use, but it should not be water that the citizens are paying for. Only the water that goes through your meter
Mm-hmm.
should you be paying for.
But aren't you still wasting water with that system? Aren't
Oh
you
yeah,
still, regardless?
oh yeah, because you open the hydrant and run that water is going into the ditch, which goes into the Chatelain Canal or the Horseshoe Canal. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's flowing out of the city. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's
Okay.
water you could otherwise drink or take a bath in or wash
Mm-hmm.
dishes or cook with. Yeah, that water's going. That's right.
Okay, now I don't know if you remember when we did the show about Cure, when Cure came in, which was DeVee Thomas and all. Thomas DeVee came in and gave an analysis about how the utilities need to be redirected or whatever with the money and stuff. Now he also mentioned, the other guy also mentioned about selling the water,
Yeah.
saying that we have water that could be sold like other cities do. They sell their water to other cities that need water. You understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That
Yes,
would be a
and look,
profit. Go ahead.
that's true because the city of Alexandria owns several water wells.
Mm-hmm.
We,
Mm-hmm.
these are reservoirs that I think are about these are water stratas in the earth, underground, that's about 300 feet, 400 feet below the surface.
Mm-hmm.
And we have wells drilled into those stratas. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so we pump that water from the stratas into our water towers.
Mm-hmm.
And what goes with it is all the sediment that comes out that zone where we're getting the water from. And then when it leaves that tower, it goes into our homes. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, District 5 and 4 don't have the problem with brown water. And when Jack Roy claimed he got brown water also and he drank it, he's lying to us. He's just bold-faced lying to us, okay? Because District 4 and 5 don't have these problems. And but now 1, 2, and 3 do. 1, not so much. 3 is the most, and District 2 have a lot of those issues also.
Yeah.
But yeah, that water is water we own, and we got a lot in those reservoirs until I shouldn't call them reservoirs. They're underground in strata, and until that runs dry,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's something we could definitely sell. That's something we have a lot of
Mm-hmm.
is
Yeah.
water.
That's what he was saying. He said, you guys have some good water that could be sold. He said, you guys could be selling your water. And he
Right.
told them that,
Yeah.
which will help with the revenue.
Well, look, there was the first time Malcolm Larverdane was in office as a
Mm-hmm.
council member.
Mm-hmm.
One of his projects was to uh, have a water park in Alexandria.
Mm-hmm.
Because one of the things we have a lot of in abundance that's inexpensive for us is water. And he was suggesting that we do one right on the side of the expressway that goes across the river,
Mm-hmm.
before it got there, right on the river. Yeah, so we've known this for a while, and we recognize this, but we've never capitalized on it. We never took advantage of it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay, let's finish.
Yeah, stick around, Mr. Porter.
If,
You got
if you,
you
yeah,
got
if you,
interested in.
yeah, if you can.
Okay, I'll stick around.
Okay.
Here to award the engine overhaul service contract for DG Honda Units 5, 6, 7, and 8 to Motor Service Yugo Stamp, Inc. as backup service provider.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Fowler, second by Councilman Ballard. Public comments, discussion.
Yes. Madam
Councilman
President,
Green, yes.
in reading the fact sheet, it says we're currently in dispute over with Wazilla. There's no other explanation for the dispute. May someone please tell me why we're in dispute with the manufacturer of the said items that we purchased?
I didn't know they had used the word dispute, but they do. So right now, we have in our Wartzilla engines, Wartsilla was the low bidder. And Wartsilla, who built those engines and actually supplies its own parts, the city, under the public bid law, has to bid all of our parts. And so part of bidding, as all of you know, you can't necessarily bid, I want a Dodge truck that is sold at such and such place, because you're reading the bid law. You'd have to say the specs, and Ford and Chevy could both
Bid on it.
you know, they can both bid on it. And while everybody may want one kind of truck, it doesn't work that way. In a similar way, but in a much more, I guess I would just say, a less practical issue, because you're getting into very unique parts that are constructed with certain tensile strengths. So how much heat they take, it could be off by just the tiniest amount, and it would be a problem. Unfortunately, our bid law in Louisiana does not make any exception for parts, even for our utility system at that level. So when we bid the parts, we get back on a separate bid whoever's the low bidder, and they will bid in non-OEM parts. And all of you know that's non-original equipment manufacturer parts. So just like when you have I can't think of the name of the most popular one, but the one that insures your car, and you go and you call your warranty in and you go to the spot, they can use non-OEM parts. And you say, no, I have this nice car, I want you to buy new ones. And they say, we don't have to, we can go get these parts. And you may take that to the shop where you're going to do it, and they don't want to use that part. They want you to get a BMW part or a Mercedes part for whatever your nice car is. You get into a battle about it. In a very similar way, that's what's happening here. We have a situation where Wartsilla manufactures the parts, and Wartsilla happened to come in as the low bidder. So we had a separate bid for the parts, and then Wartsilla came in as a low bidder. Unfortunately, we can't hire Wartsilla, who built everything, in a professional service agreement to use only its parts. The bid law doesn't allow that. So Wartsilla, for the first time, because we've been using non-OEMs for a while, said, we're not going to work on engines unless you use our parts. Dispute. So we have them finish an engine 5. We worked out a deal with them. These are for your other.
Okay. We wouldn't even be in this situation if they would have never spent that money on those parts. Can y'all hear me?
I got it. Yeah, something happened with this thing.
Oh, okay. There you go. Now.
You got
I'm not on mute.
No,
can you hear me?
Mr. Porter.
Mr. Porter.
Yeah.
No, he's not on mute. I'm looking at him. He's not. Hello, Mr. Porter. Can you hear us? He can't hear us.
He can't hear us.
Okay, he went mute. Okay. So.
Yeah, can you hear us, Mr. Porter?
Can you hear us, Mr. Porter? No, he can't hear us.
He can't hear us.
He'll fix it. So with those Wartsilla parts, y'all, if you hear what he's saying, so down the line, these propellers, these big old ship propellers, has become a problem down the line.
Okay.
Think about that.
I think he fixed now. Can you hear us, Mr. Porter?
No, he can't hear us yet. Mr. Porter. He can't hear us yet. Yeah. But when they purchased them, this now shows y'all that these parts are now becoming an issue down the line. Everybody wasn't in total agreement when they bought these parts. At the time, if I'm not mistaken, I know Green was on the council. I think Green was on the council. Oh shoot. I think Labadan was on the council then. Because I remember when they brought it up, when they started talking about it. And I remember I think it was after the purchase of them. That had to be, I think that's when Brian was alive and we went to the city council meetings and they were talking about them, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's when they got them. And now down the line, they're starting to have issues with them. Now you heard what he said. They've been getting away with non type whatever that is. You know, the parts don't have to be from the company itself. Well, now Warzilla's saying, okay, you're not going to use my parts of my machinery that I bought, you guys purchased from me. Well, we're not going to fix it. But because now, what did y'all pay attention to the Louisiana law before you bought those parts, or did you already know that you couldn't that they were not able to use those parts?
I think they had never been questioned on it before.
Okay, gotcha. Okay,
Yeah.
Okay, because I don't think it's ever been brought up.
Yeah,
That's what I think.
Hold on. Here goes Mr. Porter.
He's trying to get in. Hello?
He's coming.
Because I know that was a big thing, and a lot of there we go. Can you hear us, Mr. Porter?
But everything had stopped.
Oh yeah, it started staticking on our end, but we could see you. You just couldn't hear us.
Yeah.
But yeah, run it back for him real quick.
Hold up.
Yeah, it was telling. I'm getting a message saying those has muted your mic.
Yeah, your mic.
A whole bunch of static.
Yeah,
Okay.
You sound digital. You went digital for a second. Okay, so I'm gonna play it again, and I want to get your explanation. Give me a second.
Whatever your nice car is, you get into a battle about it. In a very similar way, that's what's happening here. We have a situation where Wartsila manufactures the parts, and Wartsila happened to come in as the low bidder. So we had a separate bid for the parts, and then Wartsila came in as a low bidder. Unfortunately, we can't hire Wartsila, who built everything, in a professional service agreement to use only its parts. The bid law doesn't allow that. So Wartsila, for the first time, because we've been using non-OEMs for a while, said, we're not going to work on engines unless you use our parts. Dispute. So we have them finish an engine 5. We worked out a deal with them. These are for your other engines. My concern will always be and remains, and Marcus and I are working through this, having the assurances that non-OEMs for the type of asset we have, different than a car, has to work at the same level. And all of you will know this too. At this level, there are international grading agencies, if you will, and they look at the parts and they determine that it's been tested and it has the same tensility or tensile strength, the ability to withstand force. And all of those different things are in place. While I'm convinced that we're doing it right and these guys are doing the right thing, I remain a little concerned because of the unique nature of the Wartsila engines and what I know to be the level of Wartsila is a fine company. I mean, these guys are doing the best in the world at this. And so if they don't want to warrant other parts, it's not warranty. So remember, those are old. We're out of warranty. One of the questions I should have settled for you first is, will this void a warranty? No, we're way out of time on that. But I still have to worry about the integrity of the engines and if any part that we use isn't. So remember, these are big companies that make them exactly the same. So you could have big manifolds. These are like a giant Rolls-Royce car engine, if you would imagine, but as big as this room. So all of those different things have to be looked at. They're handling number 5, which tells you a little bit about the dispute. The fact that they're willing to use certain things to do 5 is a little bit of a tell, if you will, on, well, why not do the others? But they want you to use their parts, bottom line. So we're trying to work that out with them.
Is litigation?
In the meantime, no, absolutely no litigation. That's why I was surprised they used the word dispute. No litigation. Wartsila is doing that. What I think we're trying to work out is to make them change their mind and do it. We've done it in the past. I'd like to see Wartsila do it. This other group, who is not Wartsila, came in a little over. I think it's $300,000 for the next responsible bidder. They've worked for us before. They've serviced the engine before. The reason we want to do this now is belt and suspenders. Because of our requirements with MISO to stay on time and have our.
That's the problem. That's the problem. MISO is the problem because they have to see those are the requirements MISO says they have to have.
Oh, wait a minute. Mr. Porter is out.
Yeah, I see. His camera's out. He'll come back in. Those are the requirements MISO wants them to have.
Mr. Porter?
Mm-mm. No, he can't hear it just yet. He's trying to get in there. Those are okay. So they're having to make sure everything, because the whole purpose of all of that was for them to get on that grid, to be part of that co-op. That was the whole thing.
Can you hear us, Mr. Porter?
Mm-mm.
No.
Nope. He probably needs to go back off and then come back in. But yeah. That
he can hear us. He can hear us because he did it.
Yeah.
Back.
Come back.
So the bigger problem is we're doing this for myself.
Yeah, because in order for you to stay in their requirements as a there, let's see, he's trying to come in. Add to stage. There we go.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, there you go.
All right, there we go.
Okay, I was able to hear you guys. You just couldn't hear me.
No,
yeah, we couldn't hear you.
Now, did you hear what Jock said?
I did, and look, this is a little bit complicated because here's the situation: you have turbines that are built by a particular manufacturer, a particular company, and they would like to be the ones who work on your units, sell you parts, and things like that. And Jack Roy's a lawyer. He's not an engineer, so he kind of struggled to explain this. But this is the analogy he should have used. If you buy a car from a manufacturer, say you buy a Ford, when it's under warranty, you take it back to Ford. But after the warranty's gone, you don't have to buy Ford parts or take it to Ford. You can take it to someone else who can work on your car, okay? And they may use parts that are not manufactured by Ford, all right? But if you take your car to Ford, you cannot use Ford will not put any other parts on your car except the Ford manufactured parts. And that's what this company is saying. When you hire us to come in and work on our equipment, we're not going to use parts that you bought from somebody else. You have to buy our parts. Now, their parts cost more. That's the reason if you have a Ford, instead of going to Ford and buying tires or a battery or an alternator, you'll go somewhere else and buy it. And then when you go to Ford, not only do the parts cost more, but their labor is more. So you might take it to someone else, like a Pep Boys or somebody, to get the work done. Okay, so what Alexandria is trying to do for these Wärtsilä engines, and I believe Wärtsilä is made in Switzerland, but it's European. So you're using their trained mechanics, service people, technicians to do the work. But instead of buying parts from Wärtsilä, they were buying parts from other manufacturers who make similar type parts. And the Wärtsilä company is saying, we will no longer send our people to work on your units and install parts that you bought from somebody else. You need to buy the parts from us. So that's what the issue is. But now the parts from the other companies costs less than what Wartsila charges for. And that's the problem. When they go out to bid, when the city of Alexandria goes out to bid for these parts, these other companies can provide a similar part for less money, but they'll go directly to Wartsila for the service people to do the work. And their people are saying, or the company is saying, we will no longer do the work for you with somebody else's parts. You want us to do the work, you have to buy the parts from us. And it just means a lot more money. But you're absolutely right. You see, when Jack Roy put us into MISO calls all the shots for our plants, when we run and when we don't run. That's the agreement with MISO. So that's what landed us in this situation.
And so all those times y'all had to vote on those Wartsila parts, that like that wasn't the OEMs, or was that the actual Wartsila parts?
Yeah, that was. I believe that was the OEM. That was the original equipment manufacturer, who is Wartsila, and that's that. I do believe that's what that all of that was. And look, that comes up almost every month. Every month you got that on the agenda.
Yep.
Right. That's a lot of money. And you know what, you guys? These are ship parts.
Yeah, it comes over there. They do not have a manufacturing plant in the United States. All of that's coming from Europe.
They have an office in New Orleans, but they don't have a plant.
Yeah, I don't know if they stock parts there. Maybe
No, they don't.
They do not. Okay.
No. And look, it's an international work boat show. So this is boat parts.
Well, turbines are used on a lot of different things. They're used on boats. They're used on trains. They're used in airplanes, not these big type turbines, but yes, those turbines can be put on big, huge vessels, ocean-going vessels, to drive the propellers to run to propel the ships. And you're probably familiar with that, Tavares, having been in the Navy. That's in for the United States. We use Westinghouse and General Electric turbines for our naval vessels. You know.
Yes, sir.
Wow. All right then. That's a good explanation there. Okay. So you know what, Mr. Porter, you're correct. Every month we doing something to them doggone DG Hunter units. Every month. So
Every
what's
month.
going on? And they're not even firing them up.
No, they're not running. And
wait a minute. Say less. Keep going.
Oh, we're gonna find out something?
Yeah, you're gonna find out something.
Okay. All right.
Engines fire as they're called on every day and be compliant with MISO. We want to have both in place. We'll continue to talk to them. There is no legal dispute. Wartsila is not saying, if you will, well, why not do the others? But they want you to use their parts, bottom line. So we're trying to work that out with them. In the meantime, no, absolutely no litigation. That's why I was surprised they used the word dispute. No litigation. Wartsila is doing that. What I think we're trying to work out is to make them change their mind and do it. We've done it in the past. I'd like to see Wartsila do it. This other group, who is not Wartsila, came in a little over. I think it's $300,000 for the next responsible bidder. They've worked for us before. They've serviced the engine before. The reason we want to do this now is belt and suspenders. Because of our requirements with MISO to stay on time and have our engines fire as they're called on every day and be compliant with MISO, we want to have both in place. We'll continue to talk to them. There is no legal dispute. Wartsville is not saying we're suing you or anything. They're just saying we won't work unless you buy our parts. We're constrained by a bid law that in this case, I think.
Okay.
Listen, if you hear what he said that MISO calls on them every day to fire up their engines.
I don't. Now you see, this is what I don't really know. First of all, you need to run your engines on a certain frequency, and so that it's our responsibility with MISO is that when they call us, we have to be up and running within 4 hours. And then when we do run, we would run for a minimum of 4 hours or as long as they ask us to run. Okay. So, one of the ways to make sure that you can fire up and run within 4 hours is to test your units daily. Okay. Um, so, if you got 4 units over there, and they usually ask you to run one of them, you would test one day and bring it up to speed, run it, and then shut it down. I'm not sure how they're doing it, if they're doing it on a daily basis, a weekly basis, or whatever. But you do need to test your units to make sure they can come up and run. Now, the other thing is that maybe MISO does call them and ask them to run, but if they do, it would be the shortest amount of time they would ask them to run is 4 hours. So that way you're not just starting up, shutting down, starting up, shutting down. So once MISO calls, say, look, Alexandria, we need you to run. We need this much electricity. That'll let us know, do we put 1 unit on, 2 unit on, 3 units on, and the minimum time is 4 hours. If they need us to go longer, they would tell us that, and we would run as long as they need us. But here's something to keep in mind. One of the reasons our units don't run all the time is because we're one of the highest cost producers of electricity. It costs us more cents to produce a kilowatt of electrical energy than the other units in their system. So they run the lower cost ones first, and then as they have more of a need, they'll bring on the higher cost ones later on. And that way, MISO maximizes its profits. If you have a unit that can produce a kilowatt of electrical energy for 4 cents every hour, okay, 4 cents per kilowatt, then, and we're billing other people at 12 cents, you want to run those 4 cent per kilowatt units. Now you come to Alexandria, and if it costs 8 cents per kilowatt hour, you don't want to run us unless you absolutely need us. That's if another unit just can't, has to shut down for whatever reason, and we can't meet our, MISO cannot meet their commitments, or if they have to take a unit out to overhaul it, and they do that every 6 months, then you need somebody who can run while the other units are being overhauled. It's those sorts of situations that Alexandria is asked to run. Otherwise, we really don't run, not much at all.
I think what I was gonna want to ask you after that is what's the benefits of being in MISO?
Well, Alexandria is a small fish in a big ocean, and that was that was a pipe dream of Jack Roy, because Jack Roy got messed around by Clico. And so, with his mentality, he figured, okay, you got the best of me. I'm going to show you. I'm going to cut off my nose to spite my face. So what he did, we went by uh, 25% stake in Bayou Cove,
Mm-hmm.
so that because there is a minimum amount of electrical production you must meet to become a member of MISO, to be accepted into MISO.
Mm-hmm.
Because MISO doesn't just accept anybody. So for us to get to that level, Jack Roy decided I'm going to take the settlement money from Clico. I'm buying Bayou Cove, percentage in Bayou Cove. And as far as nameplate, when you add up what the unit says it can produce on its nameplate and add it to DG Cove. And by the way, they also change out the old units at DG Hunter and put in these Warcilla engines. So now that gave City of Alexandria enough. That gave City of Alexandria enough uh, nameplate electrical generation capacity to gain Alexandria entrance or membership into MISO. And so now, once you become a member of MISO, you are bounded by their rules. You've given up any operation of your unit. They tell us when we operate and when we can't. Okay, so we no longer call the shots. But you ask, what are the benefits? The benefits are if we have extra, first of all, it's supposed to benefit us by purchasing, say, like natural gas. It's actually supposed to help us uh, by purchasing services and parts for our units, like what is being talked about right now. But if you have different units from the other ones, then you don't have the power of all of these different companies uh, asking for a group sort of discount. You don't benefit from that. But now what we're supposed to be benefiting from is the purchase of natural gas to run the unit. But once again, the natural gas that we're getting, we're paying. I mean, you could go on the spot market and buy natural gas cheaper than what we're paying for it. So those are supposed to be the benefits, that you have a wide network. If you're down, you have access to electricity from your MISO network. If you're running and you're producing extra energy, MISO is able to sell it for you on the open market. But and then you should be able to get better rates on natural gas contracts and maintenance and parts. But it does not look like we really benefit from that. So this was just a bad situation from the very beginning. We're too small of a unit. We really should not be in the electrical generation business. It's not saving us money. All you have to do is check with someone you know in Lafayette, Baton Rouge, Shreveport, Monroe, Lake Charles. Compare their electric bill to yours. See what you're paying as a fuel charge. See what you're paying on a kilowatt hour basis. You know, so the idea, you'll hear people like Fowler and Villard and Roy say, well, we would be paying a lot more if we didn't own our own unit and if we wasn't part of MISO. I don't believe that's the truth or the case. So, but do like I did a few years ago, compare uh, electric bills with other folks that you know. Fortunately for me, I have relatives in New Orleans, in Baton Rouge, in Lafayette. So we were able to sit there and dissect each other's bills and see who had the better deal. And Alexandria does not. So now that was a few years ago, but we probably need to repeat that exercise again and confirm that or update that.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So basically, what he said, it ain't no benefits.
Yeah, very little, if any.
Very little benefits. At least not for the citizens. Maybe it's some for him
Oh yeah.
or Markai.
I firmly believe we would be better off if we sold our interest in the utility system and just bought off the grid. I really feel we would be in a better situation.
Uh, oh, and I got a comment that said, "Why didn't the utility director answer it? He was sitting right there."
I know that's what's so strange. Instead of Roy trying to explain the details of this, bring in the people who actually in the utility system, and let them explain that.
But you know
But
that's his micro management that he does.
He
that,
wanted to make sure. He wanted to make sure.
and not only that, he definitely don't want. Remember, he wouldn't let when he had that guy confirmed by the city council, he would not let the guy talk to
Yep,
any of the council members
sure
at
did.
all.
That's right. He sure did.
There's a reason for that.
Yep, that's right. So that tells me if that guy really knows what he's doing too, y'all.
Right.
Because whenever he picks somebody, don't necessarily mean they they know what they're doing. Uh, Somebody in that said, sounds like the mayor loves being used. No, the mayor thinks he's doing. Lots of times, the mayor's making decisions off of his feelings.
Right.
I'm gonna say that most of that is emotional decisions he makes. Like you said, Mr. Porter, when he did that, trying to get back at Clico, but you still have to use Clico. Nobody wants to talk about that part. You still
Well,
taking fuel from Clico.
not only fuel but electricity.
I mean,
So
electricity. That's what the word I wanted to use. Electricity.
because look, the DG Hunter plant, it
Hmm.
cannot generate enough electricity to supply all of Alexandria need.
Hmm.
So we're constantly buying off of the grid. And when MISO tell us don't run, that's because MISO can produce the electricity cheaper and sell it to us. And guess what? One of the people MISO gets the electricity from in this local area is Clico.
Yup.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
So
You can't make that up.
yeah, so we really should not be we should not be in the electrical generation business.
They're not. Let's say that loud enough. You might get
Right.
offended. Yep.
I hurt his feelings.
Yep.
And understand we still are in debt for the bonds that the city went out and get in 2013 and 2014 for to purchase the Wasilla engines and the 25% of Bayou Cove. So we're
Hey.
still paying for that, and we will be paying for that until 2030, 2040.
Yep. Sure is. You're right. Now let me ask you something. When did they buy those? What's the name? When did that happen?
Uh, I think that was 2015
15. Okay, then you were
because they floated the bonds 2013, 2014.
Mhm.
So I think they bought the engines in 2015.
Okay.
And
Okay.
it's possible they could have bought them a year earlier.
I remember when they did the city council meeting, they were talking about it, but I couldn't remember what year that was. I couldn't remember the year. That's what it was. I thought it was um I thought it was during the time before Brian passed away, but it wasn't. It was after.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Hold on. Did you see the article on KLAB about Clico warning for her scam?
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that article. That Clico saying some people are calling, saying they're from the utility company or something.
Don't they do that like every year? They don't.
Every year around the holidays is always some type of scam. Always. It's always one around the holidays.
Last time it was the restore scam.
Well, look, they do that with the Alexandria utility system also.
Yeah.
I've gotten in the past, I've gotten some calls that said, well, your payment didn't go through, and so you can send your payment here within a certain amount of time, and we will not charge you a late fee, you know. And so when I checked to see if my payment went through, it certainly did. So these are some other people. And then when you look at where they were asking you to send or make a payment, then it had nothing to do with the city of Alexandria. So that's been going on in the past. Now they hadn't done that lately. I hadn't received anything like that in the last few years, but we used to get targeted by that exact same scam.
Mm-hmm. They do that with the computers too, saying that you have something going on with your computer. They'll say their Microsoft Office or something like that. And they do the same thing with
And
computers.
they haven't contacted you yet, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. And look, if you're a client or a customer of Alexandria Utility System, December 1st they're changing their payment location. So you have to go back in. If you were paying online, you have to go back in and get a new account because they're switching from the old one to the new one. Now it's taken them that long to get to a new system ever since they were hacked way back when.
Mm.
It's taken them this long to
Mm.
get a new system.
Mm. Okay. That's interesting.
What does that tell you?
Yeah, that tells you they're just a sitting duck waiting for somebody to come along and take a shot at it. That's what it tells you. Yeah.
Because in between that time, they could have got hacked again, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's right. That's right.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay.
Antiquated is not the right word. I don't think the bid law, it is not the norm for cities to have a full muni as we do, Mr. Lawverdane, as you know. So it's just not something they consider. You can imagine that over the decades, people have argued this about vehicles too. And that doesn't make it because people say a Chevy and a Ford, we're not going to let you only get a Chevy because that's what your guys want, or only get a Ford.
Typically, these guys.
This is different. These are different kinds of parts.
But typically, these guys can make these moves with private companies. And
yes.
And since we are a municipality.
That's correct.
It doesn't quite jive.
A private company can elect and say, we're not going to risk it. We're only using Wärtsilä parts. And they're at the mercy then of however that bid is, because even though they're not required to bid as we are, they bid, right? They get.
So we shot a can over the bow, and we're seeing what we can do about it.
Well, R equal has to be R equal. It can't be anything else.
So these are certified.
Now you hear the two people that's talking, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those two people, Mr. Porter, please correct me if I'm wrong. They were on the city council when they got those back in 2014 and 2015?
Yes, definitely.
And I think they voted for it.
Yes, definitely.
I think so. That's why you'll hear certain subject matters that they talk about
Oh
that
yeah, they
YouTube will
chime in
speak
on
up
it.
for.
They'll chime in
Yeah,
on nothing else. They'll chime in on that.
they'll chime in. You'll know that they had a part in it when you hear them two talking. Whenever those two talk, you know they had a part in something. It happens every time. They can't hide it. They don't know how to play it off because they know they had a part in with that that Mozilla.
By international organizations, Gary, if you imagine they have some.
Oh, it was made. It's originally in Finland, Mr. Porter.
Tube or part that goes on this giant. I don't know. Give me a name of a part on it. What's the one we were talking about earlier?
Napier part. That's one that Mozilla uses.
I'm trying to give them a car comparison. Give me something like you have in a car. We do have big spark. It is. There's a system of that. I was going to say carburetor, but I don't want to say that. So a water pump. So they would test that. They would test that strength of that pump at all of those same pressures with tensile. The tensile strength of that has to operate the same. So they're going to apply that force.
So again, why isn't the utility director explaining?
I was the utility director.
No, but he couldn't even. Okay, listen again. Who's doing all the explaining? Okay. That should tell you a lot because I don't think he's really familiar with that Wasilla. What's the name? Now, if Marcotte was sitting there, Marcotte could talk because he was part of that crew that they purchased when they purchased those engines. He could talk, but this guy right here, I don't think he knows all that what they claim he knows. I don't believe he does. That's just me.
They're going to have an international rating agency say this non-OEM aftermarket part meets the same strength as that one. That's 100% an accurate report, so there's no dispute in that. Wartsilla just doesn't want to do it. So if you're me or you're Marcus, then your next question has to be, why not? And does Wartsilla do a set of tests that are more rigorous and is something we have to worry about? We have had a rebuild already. It has not been an issue. But I would never say, nor would the utility director say, that we don't both think that Wartsilla parts are better for Wartsilla engines than non-Wartsilla parts. The issue is we don't have a choice in the law. So what we'd love to do is you'd hire Wartsilla in some sort of professional service since it's the one doing it, and they would use their parts within it. We can't do that. We'd love to. But if everyone could do that, everyone would get around the bid law. You'd enter into a car lot management agreement, they would send you only their cars. That would be circumventing the bid law. You would never be allowed to do it. So that's where we are.
All right.
So you're saying, so when part of this council voted for these Wartsilla engines back, this was not seen to be a upcoming problem. And when you were using the analysis of cars, I'm looking at, if I buy a Cadillac and I go and they want to put a Chevy part on, I'm gonna have a problem with that. So that's what you said, the NOPs, non-original parts. So, and they're gonna test them and they should work comfortable. And all I'm reason I'm asking all these questions because I read dispute. I didn't write the fact sheet, but I read dispute. And I was wondering where we were going with that. So if you all are comfortable using these NOP parts and to make, that's fine. I just wanted the explanation why dispute was in the statement. Sir.
Mr. Green, I think what you're saying is perfectly logical, and I think it's a good catch that you made.
Because I think at the time, Mr. Green was on the council. That's why he's saying that. Because he said, because some of y'all voted for it. If you heard what he said some of y'all up here voted for it, right? Because like I said before, if I'm not mistaken, was Lavedan, I think Green was up there then, and Fowler and Ballard. And I think Green, I don't think they voted for it. I think Ballard and Fowler did vote for that. That's why it came to my mind when he said it.
Yeah, I think you're correct. I don't recall exactly, but I do remember that that Ed Larverdane and Jules Green did not vote for that bond to go forward, because that ended up being $150 million.
Yeah.
And it was at 4.5% and 5%. That's back in 2013, 2014. Now, other cities that floated utility bonds during that time, they were getting 2.75, 3% interest, and people were buying their bonds. We were at 4.5% and 5%. And they still never explained why that was. But Harry Silver, Fowler, Villard, and I guess it would have been
Roosevelt.
Roosevelt.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's who it was. Yep. Roosevelt was on
And now that's 4, and then Ed and Jules.
Green was
And
7.
So the seventh person, I don't know.
Harry Silver.
No, he already said that.
I mentioned Silver. The seventh person.
Was it Mr. Fuller?
No.
No. It would either have been Jonathan Goins. Oh, you know what? It may have been that guy Jerry Jones.
Jerry Jones. That's who it was back then.
I think it might have been
Jerry
him.
Jones.
Yeah.
And Mr. Labadan and Mr. Green voted against it.
Well, you know what? That wouldn't have been Jones, because didn't Jules Green?
Oh, that would have been Goins.
It would have been Jonathan Goins.
The guy sitting next to the mayor.
Yeah, it would have been Jonathan Goins, or it could have been Mitzi Gibson.
Oh yeah, it could have been Mitzi up there then.
Oh, you know what? Let me back up. If not Mitzi, it would have been Hobbs.
No, it wouldn't go that far.
No, Pumpkin, not Hobbs.
It wouldn't have been Hobbs. Okay.
Nah, it would have. I think it was Jerry. I think it was Jerry, because it was either Jerry or Jonathan, but it couldn't have been Jonathan. It was Jerry. It had to have been Jerry.
Okay. Oh, well, okay, because when Jonathan resigned,
Over. Yeah, Jock Boy picked Jerry.
Yes.
Yep,
right.
he sure did.
That's
yep.
right.
That's right.
But anyway, this was 2013, 2014. So whoever was in there those 2 times, that's what it was. But it didn't matter, because they already had the 4 votes. There was only 2 dissenting votes, and that was Ed Larverdane and Jules Green.
That's right. Sure was. I do remember that. Definitely remember that.
But just look at the sentence. Is currently in dispute over utilization of low bid non-OEM. So we're not in a dispute with them. There's no issue with us and Wartsilla. It's that Wartsilla doesn't want to work on the engines without using their parts. And without disparaging Wartsilla, I would say, one of these 2 guys said it. They're playing a bit of a hardball game to see what we'll do, to say, we won't do it unless you do that. We were your low bidder.
But Mayor,
but the next
that's a difference without a distinction. Actually, I mean, if our engines need to be worked on and something breaks and they're saying, hey, we won't make the repairs unless you use these equipments, it kind of has over a barrel. Wouldn't you agree?
No, you said difference without a distinction. It's a difference that's a difference. Here's the distinction. There's another group that can work on it. That group has already worked on our engines in the past. They just didn't win the bid this time. They're second low and responsible and responsive. Now they get a chance by what you do, because Wartsilla decided for the first time ever to play hardball. So it's the opposite of a difference without a distinction. It's just a difference. They're just trying to get over it.
I'm just concerned that we look one day and we can't produce power because we have motors that are generators that are down.
Well, there's a million reasons that could happen that have nothing to do with parts. There's catastrophic loss. There's all kind of things. No one can guarantee against that.
Okay, it was Mitzi, Mr. Porter, and Tavares.
Okay.
It was Ed Labadan, Harry Silver, James Villard, Chuck Fowler, Jules Green. I knew Jules Green was there, and Mitzi LaSalle. It was Lee Rubin. It was Lee Rubin. Lee Rubin
Oh, okay.
was on the
Not,
city council then.
okay. All right.
Okay.
So, and I'm not sure how Mitzi voted. I don't know if she voted for it or against it.
We'd have to find that out later on.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's
Okay.
who was it.
Very good. Good checking on that.
All right.
But the question is, when we built this structure, would you ever see these things happen? Of course you do. This is the constraint of our bid law. But we've already used this company in the past and non-OEM parts in the past.
Without any problems. So, okay.
Okay.
So you do have a backup if Wazilla doesn't agree
I
with
think what I would
everything.
want to disclose to y'all in total candors, I just, in my heart of hearts, you'd want Wartsilla because they designed it, and you'd want Wartsilla parts. But I would tell Mr. Green, if you're bringing your Cadillac, your Mercedes, your BMW in after the fact, and you've got a aftermarket insurance policy, you can tell them all day that you only want a brand new BMW part. But you ain't getting one, and there's no way you can make them do it if you have that after you've run your regular warranty period. You bought the what's the
Extended warranty.
the extended warranty company that advertises. That's where we are. We're after all that, Tom. What is it?
Endurance. Yeah, endurance.
So we're after that.
So what he's saying is we no longer have an extended warranty on those parts. That's basically what he's saying, right?
On the units themselves, the actual turbines.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what it ran out of its warranty.
Oh yeah, a long time ago. Long time ago.
Endurance.
Or you can pay the difference. Or you can pay the difference.
Endurance.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Number 16, to consider final adoption of an ordinance authorizing the rezoning of property at 3220 MacArthur Drive, Alexandria, Parish of Rapides, Louisiana, from C2 General Commercial to I2 General Industrial District to allow heavy industrial retail sales.
Motion, please.
Move.
Second. Motion by Councilman Lloyd, second by Councilman Fowler. Public comments. Mr. LaFleur, Eric,
I'm here, yes, ma'am.
okay. You can have your 3 minutes. Yes, sir.
Good evening, members of the council. So I'm Eric LaFleur. I'm from New Orleans, but I'm really from Ville Platte.
Hello.
So we're here, I'm here on behalf of Progressive Tractor and Implement Company. I serve as their general counsel. We have asked for a zoning change in order for us to locate and set up shop here in Alexandria. Progressive Tractor and Implement Company is the third largest case agriculture dealer in North America. The owner is Thomas Swallow from down the street in Bunkie. He's originally from Ville Platte, as you might have figured that. We were invited. The way the zoning was set up, it wouldn't allow us to operate a dealership to sell and service and instruct in equipment. So we're asking for a change in it. We did agree with the zoning commission to impose restrictive covenants on the use of the land in the event that we would ever sell it to someone else, so that we would only use it strictly for what our intended purposes are.
Okay, so is this company coming in with jobs?
Keep listening.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
And so I don't know, I guess you have the ordinance, but we did work with them and get all of that straight.
I don't know if they gave I think y'all got the draft.
Yeah.
So I just would say, normally, what the senator is saying is correct. Eric's a former, longtime state senator. I think most of you know that. Normally, out of zoning, we can't force a deal, but in this case, they've offered something that has been accepted. So there's an offer on the table to put the restrictive covenant in, and the council will accept by this ordinance, and they're doing us a favor. So while they need the additional zoning increase in ability to have commercial, they have put all the things that they would never sell that property and not include in this restrictive covenant. And it's a whole bunch of things that y'all would agree with. So,
Okay, so I'm sorry I stopped right there. But I want y'all to always watch the mayor when it comes to stuff that he wants the city, the council to vote on. Just watch how he does. He's like a car salesman. This car is going to be a great deal. They're doing us a favor, da da da. He always does that. He's trying to convince the city council to say yay on this by giving this man this redoing the zoning so that he can come here. So he's making this, oh, they're doing us a favor to allow this to happen because they're coming here for us. Just watch how he always does it. He does it every time. Because any other time he wouldn't be at these council meetings. Just watch how often he comes to a city council meeting, and guaranteed you is something on that agenda that he put his hands on. Every time.
it's a deed restriction. So
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
what they're offering and that we're accepting. This is how it's supposed to work. It's a good neighbor thing to have local people come open this up here, create opportunity for us, and then do this.
I have a question, Mr.
Oh.
How many jobs do you think this is going to create?
I think initially we would probably only have maybe a dozen at the very beginning.
That's fine.
Good.
This is good.
But the reason why we want to come to Alexandria is for the same reason you have Sin Operation, Central Louisiana. I don't know if you still have that, but for a company our size with 33 locations and a bunch of locations in Louisiana, this was the ideal location for us.
Now, did you hear how many jobs he was bringing here initially?
Forget that. Did you hear this nigga quote Sin Lawbration?
Do you know how old Sin Lawbration is?
We had Sin Lawbration.
And you know who got rid of Sin Lawbration, right?
That sucker sitting right
Jock
there.
Roy. Jock Roy got rid of it because it was too many black people profiting from it.
Yeah.
And the black people came out to that celebration in droves.
The crew queuing on the red was part of that.
Queuing on the red, that's right, with the big barbecue contests and stuff.
Yep, sure did. He got rid of it. He sure did.
And,
Now, this guy is a former.
Didn't they have Frankie Beverly?
Yes.
Yes. 1 year?
Yes. Yes.
Every year they came, Frankie Beverly and Mays came down.
Yep. Sure did. And look, this guy, he's a former senator. Y'all got to listen to the favors. Now, Jock is a mayor. He's a former senator.
Yeah, this is a good old boy hookup.
Yeah, this is a hookup. You can spray it. You can put perfume on it. You can this is a hookup. Okay? Now, think about how long Alexandria ain't had this type of company in Alexandria. Think about it. He brings these small scale companies.
They're pretty big. They're the third largest in the nation.
Yeah, but they got 33 locations.
Okay.
What this is going to be, and look, you got to pick up on every word because he's being real specific with his choice of words. He said at the beginning, it will be 12 people. A dozen.
That's right.
That means as they get up and operating, it'll drop below that. Now, this is strictly going to be a sales office. So you don't have to go to Lafayette to buy their product, because this is heavy equipment, right, for agriculture.
Yeah, exactly.
So we already got a John Deere on MacArthur. We got a Case 50 on, I forget what highway that's on. That's in this area. So now they're bringing their models here, and that's what it's going to be. So it's a sale office. They'll have their tractors and earth movers and all that other stuff laid out on their lot. They'll have a little sales office and whatever salespersons and managers they have. He said when he first started, it'll be 12. I'm sure that's to train people. And then after that, I bet it'll be about 6. No, I'm serious. Yeah.
They got to figure out who they can, or they probably be moving people from other locations.
They may,
Yeah. Now, if you notice how when he asked that, you seen how he almost hesitated in answering, and then when he answered, he had like an expression on his face, because you already know you ain't bringing nothing here. That was, like you said, Mr. Porter, that was a good old boy hookup. Yeah. That's what he brings. He don't bring real solid jobs here. He brings hookups, and those people are not hiring nobody. Yeah,
they'll have salespersons. They'll have office manager. Mm-hmm. They'll have an accountant. You know, somebody you pay to when you buy the tractor, who you pay. Mm-hmm. You know, so I doubt if they'll have more than 6 people once they train everybody and get their system up and running. Mm-hmm. And then you'll have a person that, you know, is responsible for moving the tractors around. It might be 1 or 2 of them. So yeah, I'm serious. So you're probably going to have about 6 people.
Yeah, at the most. Yeah. That's interesting.
Us, and it opens up the door to do what you're thinking of, which is this would be much more than a small operation, but much larger operation. It might have to include possibly the England. Is it England Air Force Base?
England Airport.
Because this would be retail.
Yeah, this guy knows.
Now he knows. See, that's how you know this is a hookup. This is a hookup.
He has no idea what's going on.
He is so lost with what's going on in Alexandria. So you know this is a hookup. Because if I got a business that I'm trying to bring somewhere, you can guarantee I'm going to study. I'm going to come here and I'm going to go with people to take me on a tour of all the areas that I need to be familiar with. This guy, he talked about sin liberation. Think about how long ago sin liberation was.
Oh, that had to be 25 years ago.
Okay. And then you don't even know it's not even England Air Park. It's not England Air Force anymore. It's England Air Park. So you don't know that?
Yeah, that means he hasn't been in this area for about 25 years or maybe longer. Because you see, that's his recollection. It was the England Air Force Base.
That's
right. Your big events was sin liberation.
Yeah.
But we're talking 25 plus years ago.
So where are you? So you should be embarrassed to come up here in front of them, and you don't even know what's going on in the city.
They thought Shamir said, "Boo, get out of here." Boo.
And you know what? They're going to vote on it.
No. Go ahead, keep going.
Possibly corporate, but the fact that Alexandria is centrally located with highways going everywhere and an airport that has capacity potentially for us to use it as our logistics center to ship out to stores that we have in Arkansas, Tennessee, Louisiana, and even soon in Mississippi.
Well, we thank you for bringing your company here, even if you're hiring 12 employees.
Initially,
he's outlining the stepping stones.
So, we thank you for that, Mr. LaFleur.
If there's anything we can do to help the process, please let us know.
Help us tonight, for sure.
Okay.
But the company's growing, and it's probably doubled in size in the last 6 or 7 years. And
okay. I'm trying to find out what's funny. Did I miss the joke?
Well,
and for y'all to, and hold up, this is my issue, y'all. I'm sorry. This is my issue. Now, y'all sitting up there happy this man bringing 12 jobs here. He ain't coming with a full manufacturing. He talking about the logistics when they start shipping stuff. Okay. So that's what you should have came to the table with from the get-go, to me. That's what I think. Maybe I'm wrong. You should have came to the table with the logistic company, the logistic part of your company, and have your sales company somewhere else. But if you want to go out on the England Air Park, England Air Force Base to him, and get a building out there and bring jobs here, that's a different whole ball game. But what
wait, he didn't say all that. He didn't say all that.
No,
Okay.
because you see, he wouldn't have to come to the city
The city
council
council. That's right. He would
for
have to
a
go.
zoning change.
That's right.
England Airport
Airport
is its own separate authority.
authority.
We
That's right.
we don't get any revenue. The city of Alexandria doesn't get any revenue from the airport, not at all.
So yeah. So they would be getting all the money as far as him talking about logistics. That wouldn't come to Alexandria.
But he doesn't know that. He doesn't know that.
Obviously, he probably don't. But I
And-
think it's a bunch of bullshit still. I'm sorry.
Well, and then to be very honest with you, I don't think they would be flying parts in by airplane. They would ship it, or it would come by rail.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think they, because you see, if we're talking this heavy equipment, if they're going to stock parts for the equipment that they sell, repair parts, then that's going to come in on a big 18-wheeler.
Yeah. So I mean, well, he could do that. They could have their building. They could do that out there. Don't have to use the airplanes, but they have buildings out there where they could actually do that.
That's interesting, because if he's going to warehouse his items on the airport and just have a sales office in Alexandria, that's interesting. That'll be different. So,
but that's really true, because you'll say whatever you need if you're trying to sell a car, right?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Like, let's go all the way back to Bayou Steel. When Bayou Steel came here, they taught this high number of jobs. And when Bayou Steel got up and running, that job, that was about 1/10 the number of jobs they advertised, or the way they sold all of that. It got down to 1/10 of what they initially told us. So
yeah, that's interesting. That's why I said that talk don't mean nothing.
And look, Union Tank Car did the exact same
thing. Sure did.
There was supposed to be a whole bunch of jobs there. And after the construction was completed and the construction workers left and went back to wherever they came from, the actual jobs was a fraction of what they advertised.
That's right. So right. Sure did.
So if he's saying 12, I think it's going to be 6.
Looking for a place like this where we have the potential to
That was because of
help
legal
our.
counsel.
What's that?
That was because of legal counsel. Like double.
Thank you, Mr. LaFleur. We look forward to having your business here. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Before we adjourn,
Thank you.
I missed the opportunity to remember Mr. Fuller. So at this time, can we please have a moment of silence for Mr. Joe Fuller? Thank you. And I also would like everyone, I'm bragging about my brother and my sister-in-law, which please stand. They're back home from Korea. And they're stationed at home. And they have made my week tremendously well due to the fact that it was home for death, but just having my brother and my sister-in-law here with me eased the pain some.
Before we adjourn, I think Mr. Johnson has.
Yes, he does.
So,
Oh, Lord.
y'all remember when I got elected and I came up here bragging about how good a basketball player I was? How many records I set? Well, my record's been broken, and tonight, in about an hour, my grandson get a chance to make his 1,000 points. He's 6 points away from 1,000. So he averaged more points than me, but he never will catch how many points I scored.
Congratulations.
Okay. I'm sorry, y'all. Sorry, y'all. I apologize. Okay. All right. So this is the end of the meeting, right? It's over? Right?
Nah, it's more to it.
Your grandson.
Also, I also want to dovetail on Mr. Joe Fuller. A mighty man. He's leaving a tremendous legacy. He was my dad's coffee drinking partner. And early in my legal career, I used to try to ear hustle on the conversations. He would put me out the office, but as I got older, I was allowed to stay and listen to those conversations. He leaves quite a legacy. Chuck, you and served with him. Jules, you served with him. I served with him for a year. And during that time, I learned a tremendous amount from him. He leaves a legacy. I believe he was the community director under Mayor Schneider and was also chief of staff under Mayor Schneider. And then from there, he went to the police jury and served several years. And then from there, worked for Buddy Caldwell, the AG's office. And then he came back to serve as a city councilman from 2016 to 2020. He leaves an incredible legacy. And in the days to come, I've also learned about some of his accomplishments. When he was on a police jury, and this was back in the 80s, our airport was at Essler, but he, along with Mr. Lawson, were instrumental in bringing the airport from Pineville to Alexandria. So, and he was also a champion for affordable housing. He was also known for taking trips and going elsewhere and bringing back knowledge that helped improve Central Louisiana, especially the WIB board. So he leaves quite a legacy. A mighty, mighty oak has fallen. So in days to come, I will be asking each of my council members to support an initiative to honor the Honorable Joe Fuller. We're throwing around some ideas, but I'm going to speak with the family. And I think it's only fitting that a man of his stature be recognized and memorialized in our city. So in days to come, I will be speaking to each one of you and asking for your support. I think he is a man who's earned it, and it should happen. So let's all pray for Mr. Fuller's family.
Man.
This one really hurts me because I've lost my father, and now I'm losing a father figure. So
It's okay.
Madam President.
Joe.
Yes, sir.
Thank y'all.
To the general public, Mr. Fuller's service is November the 22nd, this Saturday, 2:00 p.m., New Birth Baptist Church, located on Enterprise Road, pastored by Reverend Errol Dorsey. Interment will be garden of memory. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Yeah, I'm good. Thank you.
This meeting is adjourned.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a wonderful tribute to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, now you know what I know about the city council meeting today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um,
Interesting.
Yeah, that's how it's done, Malcolm. Good job. Good job.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He was, like he said, a mighty oak.
Right. But here's the thing, right? As strong as and as adamant as he was, I hope that in his passing, that the current council keeps that energy, that same motion going that he had, the same fervor for his community that he had, right? Because he touched a lot of lives. He touched mine. So, that's why we do this. And we joke about not getting paid for this. And we joke about how long we've been doing this. But really, it's people like Mr. Fuller, it's people like Mr. Porter. Y'all are the reason why we continue to do this.
Yeah.
We're too far down the rabbit hole to turn.
But come December, if y'all put Jock Roy back in there, I promise you, we ain't too far because we will be hanging Kim, we be Frank up. Okay.
But yeah, we not. That's the reason why we do this. But
yes. Yes.
You gotta keep it up. And y'all don't know how much he was involved behind the scenes, even after he got out of office.
Yes.
There's just so much that there's so much that the public will never know.
Yep.
And it's probably good that way because
Mm-hmm.
you know he's getting his flowers. He's definitely and he deserves them. Anybody
Every bit
that
of it.
worked that hard for the people and that long and made a life out of it, they
Yeah.
deserve it. They deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully that inspires our city, and hopefully it inspires the citizens. Damn the city council. Hopefully it
Yeah.
inspires y'all to know how much and how hard people are working on your behalf about things you don't even know about.
That's right. And been working hard for a long time. They've been towing that line for a long time.
Long time.
And when Mr. Porter came along like a bright, fresh light that was needed to add on to all the fire. He needed to be that other fire that Mr. Green, Mr. Laverdam, Mr. Green needed. They needed that other fire. And Mr. Porter came in and he just dropped the ball. He just like, okay, let's make this happen. And you guys have no idea.
Nah.
I'm sorry. Let me
But
go on mute. Let me stop talking.
it's important to recognize the people that surround you that's doing it. And the people that surround you, it's good to not just recognize them, but see what they're doing. This information is free. Of course it's free. But do you know it? That's the problem. Do you know the information? Do you know what's going on? And if you don't know what's going on, if you're not involved, then you there's people that have given everything they had and some to this cause, to little old Alexandria. And I feel like sometimes people in Alexandria don't think like Alexandria's big enough to care about. But the way these people come in and capitalize off of Alexandria and the way they use the resources in Alexandria and we get none of the benefits, that's what we're talking about. That's what the claim was. That's what the argument, that's where the problem lies, is that all these people come to Alexandria and they benefit, and the people that Mr. Fuller fought for, the people that Mr. Porter is fighting with and fighting for, the people that we're fighting with and fighting for. Y'all don't know y'all are on the short end of the stick. And that's all we be trying to do. That's all Mr. Porter was trying to do. That's all Mr. Fuller was trying to do. Is to tell y'all, man, y'all are getting the short end of the stick. And y'all deserve so much more than what y'all get. So in that spirit, I don't mind. If you want to roll the credits, that was the city council. I'm sure we be back tomorrow. We'll do some more Mr. Fuller videos tomorrow night on the regularly scheduled show. But yeah, I definitely wanted to get this show in so people could be aware. Make sure you share the show. Make sure you like the show if you're watching us on YouTube. Click the QR code in the corner. That'll bring you to Universal Collective Network, and you can follow us on Facebook. But yeah.
Exactly.
Would you be able to post the information about his funeral on?
Yeah, I already did, and I'll share it. I'll
Okay.
share it over to UCN. I just shared it just now because it just
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So thank you, Mr. Porter, for coming in and hanging out. Thank you, Miss Bell, for coming in. And thank you, Miss Bell, for all the work, because you go into the category with Mr. Porter.
Yep.
Coming in and you do all that work you do. You show up at them city council meetings. If you by yourself, you're there. And you question and you do all those things. I thank you and I appreciate everything you do. I really do.
Yeah, great job, Ms. Bell. You're certainly a community activist.
That's right.
Keep it
That's
up.
right.
Well,
Join the
thank
club.
you. I wanted to tell you something. I was told about this Terry Holmes and the incident behind it.
Okay.
He apparently stepped off, and I don't know where this took place. He stepped off on a sidewalk or whatever, and it was an uncovered drain or manhole. He broke his leg and a couple other things that he broke or
Ooh,
whatever. So I was told that one day this week about that.
wow.
Damn. So
Ooh,
Yeah.
that was on the city. Ah, that's messed up.
Well,
Yeah.
look, you posted the docket number, so
Yep.
anybody interested could go to the Judicial District Court website
And
and
pull up.
pull up that docket and read the circumstances of that suit.
And that's
wow.
one of the things Mr. White had asked about
Hmm.
is, how would we know what was paid because they went into executive session,
Yeah,
and
they
that's
sure
when
did.
Jonathan Goins told him that it was $307,647.21. Anybody could go, but if you don't go on the website and look at that information packet, they have everything in there, fact sheets and everything.
Hmm.
Okay,
So and
great.
people they don't know, or they don't go look or whatever and stuff. So but that's what I was told that happened to Terry Holmes.
Okay. So, and the thing is, too, people don't know how to go look stuff up. You got to keep that in mind. People are not like us. We know what to go look for and how to go look. A lot of people don't know how to do that. So, yeah,
Right.
I'm glad you explained that and cleared that up, because I was curious about who. I heard them talk about it before, but the name Terry Holmes is also a person that we know from in the family, like down in Ruby. That there's a
Oh,
Terry Holmes student, but you said it's a male. Okay, so that's a different story. All right, so you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We shall be back tomorrow night, and like Tavara said, we're gonna bring up some more stuff, videos and comments and stuff. Mr. Fuller said, which is so funny. What do you say? I'm Joe Fuller. So we're gonna be going back through those again. So I want to say thank you again, Miss Bell. Thank you, Mr. Porter, for all the things that you do. Thank you, Tavares. You get paid this week, this time, I promise, and I just don't cash a check into the purse, okay? Um, Miss Finley, thank you for hanging out. Miss Dixon, Mr. Turner, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us tonight. I saw Mr. Scott slipped in. He didn't stay long. Mr. Brown came in. Was that Mr. Scott? No, that wasn't. I'm sorry, that was Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown came in. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you for everybody on YouTube who was watching. Thank you everybody who was watching on all the platforms that we put this out on. I hope you learned something today. Our whole thing is to make sure you guys are getting the information that you're not getting anywhere else. We know you're not. So this is why we do this. And like I said, if you guys put Jock back in there in 2026, we're not doing this anymore. You're on your own, because by now you should know everything, right? All right. So you guys have a great night, and bye-bye.
Bye bye.